This is our first video in the second lesson of rational expressions, equations, and functions, and this is on multiplying and dividing rationals. So again, there'll be two videos. Your objective is to be able to multiply and divide rational expressions. So how do we multiply and divide rational expressions? We're going to do a very simple version that you see here. The first thing you do is you factor the numerator and the denominator. Notice how important factoring is. I promised you that it was one of the most important skills you are able to do. Then you'll state the restrictions. These are already factored. In fact, if you wanted to expand this, it would be 3x times x over 2 times 2, and then you could expand 9 to 3 times 3 times x. So that's expanded in the most simplified prime factors. The restrictions are what makes the denominator equal to 0. So x can't be 0 because if we have 0 here, then we're dividing by 0 and that doesn't work. So once you factor, then you cancel out common factors. Remember, factors are separated by multiplication signs. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 factors in the numerator and 1, 2, 3, 4 factors in the denominator. If there are two of the same factors, one in the numerator and the denominator, you can cancel them out. So those 3's can go. These 2's can go, and 1x can go. So what's left over is x over 3. If you cancel and there's numbers left over or terms left over, you might need to multiply the numerators and the denominators, but there was nothing left except the x and the 3 in the denominator. But you would multiply across numerators and denominators. So we're going to practice, and you're going to do a couple on your own. I'm going to have you do letter B on your own, and you're going to try letter C on your own. So those are the you tries. So you should have those finished when you submit the note guide. So we're going to first start by factoring. Now you can expand 4 to 2 times 2, and you could expand x to the 6 to literally x times x times x 6 times. That's expansion. You don't actually have to show this, but if it helps, you can do that. And then for 12, well, 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. And then x to the cubed is x times x times x. This is not the only way to do it, but this is just showing you the factors, the prime factors. So I can cancel this 2 out with this 2, and this 2. I can do 3 x's in the numerator and 3 x's in the denominator, and that's all I got. So now I'm going to multiply the numerators. X times x times x times 1 is x to the 3rd, and 5 times 3 is 15. So it's x to the 3rd over 15. Don't forget your restrictions. The original problem had x in the denominator, so restriction is x cannot be 0. So that's simplifying. I'm going to go down to D. Remember, the first step is to factor the numerator and the denominator. So the numerator is x is a difference of squares, the first one right here. So that factors to x minus 3x plus 3. The denominator right here, that factors to x minus 4x plus 2. The numerator right here is already factored, so I'm just simply going to put it in parentheses. And this numerator is always already factored, so I'm going to put it in parentheses. So the 3 restrictions for the denominator are 4, negative 2, and 3. 4, negative 2, and 3. So now I'm going to cancel out. I see an x minus 3 and an x minus 3. Those can go away. And I see an x minus 4 and an x minus 4. Those can go away. So I'm left with x plus 3 over x plus 2. Because there's only one factor left, I can get rid of the parentheses. But if you'd like to keep them, you can. Do not do this. That is wrong. X and x are not factors. X plus 3 is the factor. X plus 2 is the factor. The only way to cancel these numerator and denominator out if they're the same. Do not do this. Somebody will do this. Don't let it be you. So your final answer is simplified version once you multiplied is x plus 3, x plus 2. Again, you are to try B and C, and the next video will do division.